Oh, hallelujah, the AC just stood.
Okay, I think we're going to get started here. We'd like to welcome everyone to South Weber City Council at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, March 24th, 2026. We're going to excuse Councilman Davis this evening. I'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we'll have a prayer by Councilman Dills. If you'll all arise, follow me.
I pledge the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our Father in heaven, we are grateful that we could come today as a body of South Weber citizens and their elected officials as we try to sort out the business of our city. Please bless us that we will be able to have the blessing of discernment to know what we should do and what will be the best for the people and for the city as we go forward. This we pray humbly in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. We appreciate that. We'll begin with public comments. Please be respectful with your comments. We'll allow you 2 minutes or 3 minutes to speak. Please state your name and the city in which you reside, and you're welcome to come up to the microphone and make your comment.
That's out. Well,
Yes. My public comments and questions for agenda item 8, which is the resolution 26-08, amending the emergency operation. There are several items that could benefit from additional consideration and clarification. I didn't address all of them. I just addressed what I consider the highlight. Substitute in the situation overview, substitute the word any for all, because it's just not one emergency, it's any emergency. Weber River embankment failure. Basic plan, page 5. Other than the rest addressed in the study, there is a much larger risk with the flooding of either or both pits. It's the lubricity effect of the water on the foundation of US 89. The fill below the highway is primarily cobble sand and soil that, when submerged in water, will become unstable and fail, especially with traffic vibration. Dam failure. Basic plan, page 5. The dam failure addressed are only those in South Weber City. Once again, external issues create a much more severe emergency. As pointed out in the 2020 South Weber City General Plan, the effects of upstream dam failure have a greater effect and was briefly mentioned. A failure of Rockport Reservoir Dam and the Echo Dam below during an earthquake would lead to a tsunami-type wave down Weber Canyon and into South Weber City. Additionally, a failure of East Canyon Reservoir Dam during an earthquake would not only wipe out Morgan, but also flow down Weber River into South Weber City. To a lesser extent would be the failure of Lost Creek Reservoir Dam. Direction and control. Basic plan, page 9. A large concern with direction and control is that few of the responsible authorities listed in Appendix 1 actually live in South Weber City, and whether or not they can quickly respond to South Weber City in the event of emergency is a question that should be considered. Also, Annex C, Appendix 5 states that the city's computer and files are stored in the basement of City Hall. The basement could be subject to flooding during extreme flooding events. And the last one has to do with Annex C, Appendix 1, City Records, and it says gas Dominion, and it's spelled Dominion wrong, but it's no longer Dominion, it's Enbridge. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Yep. Anyone else have any comments? Okay, we've got a presentation tonight, Weber River Pre-Disaster Mitigation study by University of Utah Senior Design and Utah State. What'd I say? Utah? Well, that's blame Blair for that.
They're in the wrong color, I can tell you that.
I apologize, man. That's low.
And they're here to help.
And Kaya, are you gonna lead us in this? Or whoever's going to? Would you- Who's in charge? All of you are gonna take a turn? Okay.
Yeah. We can try it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Just make a beep sound and we'll,
You just have to hold your mouth.
First, just like to say thank you for the opportunity to give this presentation today. These are our topics, the Weaver River Pre-Disaster Mitigation Study. I'm Jason Hammer, Joe Flower, Davis Jonathan, Ty Gilbert from Kyle Mitchell. We're senior design team at Utah State University. We'd also like to acknowledge Brandon Jones for bringing this project to us and giving us the opportunity to work on it. Dr. Brady Cox helped us a lot with the geotech investigation. Dr. Colin Phillips with hydraulic sedimentation, and Professor Austin Paul for coming here helping and a lot of general on the project as we go.
you pull the microphone closer to your mouth. We're also on YouTube, so thank you.
So before I get into the background of our study, I want to make sure that we're all on the same page with the location. So our study focuses on a portion of the Weaver River in Highway 9, Interstate 84, on the north side of the state of Carson gravel pit. The river at this location sits about 200 feet above the bottom elevation of the gravel pit. Go to the next slide. All right, so in 2011, the river saw flows 20 times greater than it does on average. This was due to a high runoff year. It's the highest runoff that the river has experienced since the gravel pit was excavated. And gravel pit employees started to notice their water seeping down on the north face of the pit river. Fortunately, the seepage was encountered soon enough that they could patch the hole and get it resolved temporarily. However, if flows were to occur like this again, there is the potential that seepage could reoccur. Okay, next slide. All right, so I've created some graphics so that I can explain to you kind of what the risk is here and how groundwater flows through steep hill. So this is an image of the average flow of the Weaver River. It's pretty low. There's not a lot of pressure on the groundwater. So the groundwater as it flows towards the pit, it dips off and stays below the bank. It doesn't surface. And then, and this is a simulation of what it looks like during high flow. If it gets high enough, that water presses down really hard and pushes horizontally, the water starts to flow out through the soil and eventually these springs occur in this flow. And as water does, it likes to find a path of least resistance. So as it finds a location to spring outside of the hill, the water starts to accelerate, there's more velocity, some of the sediment comes with it, and that is just an accelerating process, and pretty quickly it will start to divert the river instead of through the original channel, so that we're getting. Right, next. So, get next to the end, this is the video. So, as part of our study, we created a flood model of what would have happened in 2011 had that river bank breached. So on the right side, you see that the pit is beginning to fill up. It takes about 36 hours to completely fill, at which point it'll be at capacity and it's going to search for the low spot to spill out. Unfortunately, that's not back into the river, but it's on the northwest corner of the pit into the city. Right. And there you see that's the extent of what the flooding could have been. As a disclaimer, this is not a finalized flood model, so there's still more work that could be done on this. We don't know if the effects would be worse or better. That would just take some more modeling, some more field work.
What's the time frame on that you're projected?
That is through the high flows were experienced from June 6th to June.
Okay.
So that is modeled over that period of time. So it's about 2.5 days or so from that.
Thank you.
All right, so there's three main risks that are associated with this flooding. First of all, between 400 to 600 homes are located in the flood path. There's varying degrees of water that the river flows past, varying different heights of water. So some of these homes could be destroyed, others could see 1 to 6 feet of it. Second of all, the water flows right over this main sewer trunk line of the city, which will lead to it quickly filling and backing up the sewer into other areas. And third, as the riverbank begins to erode, it'll cut back to under highway 9, likely could undermine the footing of the bridge and platform.
Thank you, Joe. I'm Ty, and I'm going to be talking about some alternatives to help solve this, prevent or solve the flooding. So going to go to the next slide. So we have 4 different alternatives we're going to talk about today. I'll go over the first 2. And this first one is alternative flow channels. So these flow channels, essentially they reroute water back into the river from somewhere else. So these would prevent flooding of South Weber by putting the water back into the river channel. And these structures, it would be outside of the normal riverbank, like I said, and it wouldn't affect normal flow during not flooding time. And we estimate construction costs between $2 to $2.8 million. Next slide. And the one that we chose for our preferred option for all of the alternatives, but specifically the flow channels, is that green one, the high flow diversion channel. It'd be just north of the river, and we take about 1/3 of the river's flow during flood events, and it would just take the water and put it downstream a little bit further, prevent some of that water pressure the graphic Joe was talking about. This is our favorite option due to multiple things that Kyle will get into later, but it effectively reroutes that water and reduces that pressure, and we'll see the cost is comparable to others. Next slide, please. So alternative number 2, separate option, is a lined riverbed. This is essentially creating a waterproof layer between the water and the ground, and this would prevent the water from pushing through at all. However, this has a lot of problems environmentally, and permitting would be really hard, if not possible to do, because we would be impacting the river by building exactly where the river is. So you can see it might cost between $2 to $2.4 million just construction costs, but that could double when you get into permitting and environmental studies that to happen. However, it would be good for long-term stability. It would just be something you could set and forget. And this is one of our favorite options, but that permitting and environmental studies is a major drawback for us. Next slide. So these are just 2 ways that you could make that line for concrete or waterproof geotextile fabric. And those are the first two alternatives. We'll turn it to dates for the next two.
Alright, so, the next alternative is the berm diversion channel. And this one assumes that there's complete failure of the riverbank as well as flooding of the gravel pit. And, if you look at the map, our solution to this would be a berm on the northwest corner or the low point that Joe mentioned, that indicated by the red box. This would serve to stop the water from going into South Weber City and instead divert it back into the river, through a diversion channel that's indicated. And this alternative is relatively cheap compared to the other ones. However, there's various other effects that this would have. Go to the next slide. So the main thing is environmental effects. If water is flowing into the gravel pit, it'll take up to 2 days to fill, and during that time, it stops flow from going downstream, and that would cause all kinds of environmental and economic, social effects. And then once it does fill up, all the minerals and pollutants from the gravel pit would go back in the river, cause more effects, kill wildlife. And then also there's the fact that you can't use the gravel pit anymore. It's essentially become a lake, all kinds of maintenance issues that come with that, and then erosion as the water goes into the pit. That is a concern with the gravel pit's proximity to the major highway. Next slide. So the next one we consider is a cutoff wall, which is essentially a wall that's underground, cuts off the flow of water, groundwater, from the river to the gravel pit. It also serves as reinforcement of the riverbank. The three options we consider, you have to press it 3 times, there's 3 pictures. Sheet piles, grout curtains, and secant pile walls. We can go into what those are, but we don't have time, so what we recommend is a secant pile wall, which would be effective, the most effective in cutting off groundwater flow. However, go to the next slide. The biggest disadvantage to all of these options is the high cost, and the price range that we've given for these is just an estimate and only includes the construction cost. The cost would increase a lot when you factor in other things like getting geotechnical information of the area, because we would need a geotechnical report to get water levels in order to understand how far down the wall we go to effectively cut off groundwater flow. And so it is important to note though that if it wasn't for the high cost of this alternative, this would be the alternative that we recommend. And now I'm going to turn the time over to Kaya to kind of go over the process that we use to evaluate these alternatives.
As we consider all the alternatives, or several of them, the things that we listed here are considerations of considered which alternatives to choose and recommend. Number 1 being human safety. To make sure that the design would be something that could on top of the safe as well as the downstream. And as well as the cost of the city. Projects are expensive, and getting funding is a big part of the management. And then the third one I'll talk about property, just the environmental impacts that different designs have as it's starting to work for more systems and more life impact. Move along, so. Our recommended alternative, as we mentioned before, is that first one, a high flow diversion channel. And so this channel will go on the north side of the river and would be able to carry those higher flows, keeping the river in its normal channel, the water where it is for the most part until flood were to come. As well as in that area on the north side right now, there is berm, but currently it's been broken through in the area. So we're carrying that berm to be able to keep the river and the channel separate from one another and the water. The locations we provide for that. So our design would be this rectangular channel that you see here. Our design includes gabions. We have baskets which make up the walls of the mattress on the bottom. As you can see in the bottom part of the screen. This is what a gabion is. Just a wire mesh that holds rocks inside. And so those rocks stay in place, but it's less work for contractors to remove rocks. And so you get cost savings there. that can hold the earth in place and create a place for the water to flow, to be able to connect and go downstream. And these baskets are simple enough that anyone can install in their gardens to create place. Some of the concerns that we have is that our design is based on our assumptions, which is that the cause of this is that water pressure pushing down. And so our design is based on those assumptions, correct? And so further hydraulic studies and geologic studies, that's to ensure that it will work as we designed it to. Some of the benefits, like I said, we can be able to install these, they're not very complicated, and it would take those high flows, thinking about further river and high flow situation, bearing it downstream past the Gulf pit. So that's our recommended alternative, and we'll turn it back to these things to include it.
So, we feel like this would be very beneficial to look into for the city just because of the high potential from, damage that could cause to the city if it's left alone. Our biggest recommendation is that we are students, we have limited knowledge and resources, and feel like our best foot forward, we did a lot of work to find the best solution, but, all that's privy to an actual like geotech analysis, full, flood risk analysis that is done by professionals, but specializing in that field, give you, just a better idea of like what solutions really are possible and how that would affect the cost. Also, we do have a senior design night, April 2025. We have like a lot more information to give you on the process. When we got more time, like also
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
That
Thank
was-
you. This is fantastic.
So great. So can I ask a question, Mayor? Is that okay?
Yes.
How long did this process take you guys as a group together? How long have you been working on this?
So like, we began, senior design class began a year, a few months ago, but we really got into the project for probably, we started working like over the summer, so it's been about a week.
Awesome. Thank you. This is great information. I appreciate you guys sharing that with us.
Anyone else have a question?
Yeah, I've got a quick question. At the beginning of this, you discussed how the water would actually seep into kind of like the springs going into the pit. With the amount of force that was going on during that time, wouldn't there be a huge amount of erosion right along that whole wall of the river, so that not just one section of it, but pretty soon, pretty much the entire south side of the river would be in the bottom of the pit and the pit expanding out?
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. I mean, water likes to find the quickest channel it can to exit. So what's most likely is you look at an aerial of the gravel pit, the place that it started to exit was actually the thinnest portion. So imagine what it would do is it would probably just cut a channel about the same width as the existing one is, but it would cut it down into the gravel pit. And it's hard to know exactly without knowing subsurface what all the soil conditions are. It's hard to know exactly how that water would flow, but most likely based off of what we experienced in the past, that it would just head through at that one location.
I'm just wondering, because you have the two culverts that will pull water out, and I was just wondering, would those still be remaining if the river is just eroding all of that, or are you expecting that it would just do one steady drop and just go out that way and not worry about eroding the rest of the river?
Yeah, so the goal with those designs was to prevent the erosion from happening before it got there. And what we went off of was during a normal year, even a high runoff year, there's no seepage in the pit. So we figured if we can keep the flow rates in the original channel at the same elevation as they were in those years where it was safe, then in the future, that will also be safe. So we did that by diverting the river into two separate channels to keep the elevation lower so that there's not as much pressure pushing out sideways.
Okay, fantastic. I'm amazed. Good job, all of you.
Great job. Thank you so much for doing this and coming to the city tonight. And you're welcome to stay if you'd like, but we'll excuse you if you want to leave.
Hey, Mayor,
Yes.
Can I make a motion that we give these students an A grade or recommend an A grade?
I think we could do that.
I did. I'm just waiting for a second down there.
Second it.
Second that.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Okay. Hey, great, good job. Okay, moving along, we'll get into our action items. We need to approve our consent agenda consisting of February 24th minutes. Any corrections or changes to these minutes? Now we'll look for a motion to approve.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Second by Councilman Windsor. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next item, resolution 26-6, donation policy. Any comments on this new policy that worked on getting put forth? I think Councilman Dales did a lot of work on this, did you not? No?
I did an initial draft. This was then turned over to our intern we had, Dan. And quite a bit of it was changed. There are some things that I would love to see back into it. But I think the purpose of it is sound. Any type of transparency, of course, that we can give to the public on what happens when somebody comes in and donates money. I think that it's also important that we come up with the scale as a city council that says this is what we want to do. And, so if you're donating, $100, that's a certain level of, we'll put up a banner, we'll put up, some news out on the electrical sign that we have. Or if you're doing $1,000, or if you're a business and you're doing $10,000, a business has a lot more expectation when it comes to having their name out there once you have made a donation. So, on that area, you're talking about having trails that would be named for them, or, if they're talking about different area pavilions and some of the different parks and stuff. So it just makes it so that when somebody comes to us, we're already ready. We've already made the decisions ahead of time of here's what we want to do. The one that I sent in had a much lower starting cost. I think as we saw with the pickleball courts that we did, the average donor was not sending in $10,000. We got a lot of them that did, and did a high level, but this puts it down into a range that I think most of the South Weber, especially when we get into the sports and recreation, the citizens would be able to be involved in. If they want to sponsor a team, that's handled purely at an administration level instead of having to come up to the mayor or to the city council for approval. That's just something that's keeps it down low, but still gets the process flowing without us being a bottleneck. It does have things also so that, and I know it doesn't work perfectly, but having some type of visible fund, even if it is just a declared line item when we're doing the budget that says, this is how much we were given in donations for this year, and this is how much is still here or is going to be here and moved, reserved to that next year's budget. It just makes it so that when we have somebody who comes in who does a big donation, say like we had with the barn, that since this goes across multiple years, it keeps track of it and puts it down in there so that we don't just lose it or it gets assigned to other funds. Other than that, I really think that the program itself is great. I think our biggest beneficiaries will be the sports teams. I mean, if I can donate and be able to support my grandson's soccer team, t-ball team, wrestling team, all of these different things, I'm going to do it. And I don't really need that big of a prize for doing that. That's something I would do anyways. But we have families, very large families that all have different foundations and different things that they want to put in, everything from trail headers with chairs and shade to pavilions and stuff. So this just lines it up so that we can do that.
Thank you, Joe.
Sure.
My microphone keeps doing that. I'm so sorry. You guys hear me? Yeah.
Put it,
Awful. I'm sorry.
try standing there.
Thank you. I did. My biggest question on this, how long will these banners stay up? Because I know that right now we have banners in the FAC that have been there for years. So is this a way for us to manage rotation of those and keep current on those ones? So someone doesn't donate once and then they've got it for 10 years?
And that's one of the reasons why we tried to separate it in the original draft was that if you're sponsoring a team, you do that for a season. If you want to do it again, it's another season. That way, you don't just donate once to a team, pay $150 and buy some water bottles, and now you've got a perfectly good 4x6 banner sitting in the family activity center for the next 10 years. I would hope that they would want to do that again next year for that same team. And there's even levels of it that can give a larger sign or move a sign, even have something put into the Breeze, our magazine, for those that want to continue on every year. The tougher ones, though, is once you get up into larger ones, then yeah, it becomes a one-time thing. So like where we've got the barn and the park renamed, I don't see that one changing. I don't think they need to make a donation again every year to keep that going on it. So that was the part that I was getting stuck on, and that was part of it that was taken out of this. Probably because I hadn't finished anything on it, and this is a much more simplified version. I tend to overdo it. I don't know if you've noticed. So
Okay. Any other questions? Not, we'll look for a motion.
Mayor, I move to approve resolution 2606, the donation policy.
Motion, we have a second.
I second it.
Start with the roll call vote with Councilman Windsor.
aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you. Next item, resolution 26-07, declaring public works item as surplus. Anyone have any questions on this? We made our move to our new public works facility. We've got some items that we want to discard of, we don't need, don't want. And proper way to do that is to list them as surplus. Any questions? Not, we'll ask for a motion on this one.
Oh, sorry, I don't remember what items are being surplus.
It's on the, if you look on the page 16. It's just some miscellaneous things that are kind of laying around. There's pallet racks, there's shelving, couch, office decks, all the stuff that's
From the old.
should probably go to a lot of it just needs to be thrown away.
Thank you.
Mayor, I make a motion to approve resolution 26-07, declaring public works items as surplus.
Seconded.
Motion second by Councilman Howerson. We'll do a roll call vote starting with Councilman Howerson.
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you. Resolution 26-08, amending emergency operations plan. Any questions on this one? It was a big read. Have our fire chief here. Do you have anything on that? Do you want to add? Okay. Any questions?
Got a couple of issues that I found in it. Number one, there's a couple different times when we're talking about the chief executive officer as defined by the state. And part of the times it lists the mayor as that chief executive officer. Other times it lists you, the city manager, as such. I would like to just kind of clear that out so that in an emergency, we have the mayor and his designee. So that way, if it is something to do it, because the chief executive officer doesn't change. Yeah, it's got a couple of them on. Oh, I've got it on here. I'll show you afterwards. So that you can look on that and make that exact one, because it is. It's where it's talking about, the first one is the first executive chief. God, I'll just give you the page number and show it on you, or while we're doing this. That one needs to be cleared up. Also, yeah, and I do have it written down. Second though, and this one was kind of a little more, we have, Lisa Smith, listed as List Smith. I don't think that's her actual name. There's a number of places where it is misspellings all throughout it. I'm not trying to be picky on it, but my real questions are on this is that, was this given a thorough review before it was sent? Because we've got pages here that are actual templates coming from Cache Valley, as some of the footers that are in here where it was taken out. We also have ones from Layton and a couple from Salt Lake City. So it looks like obviously somebody was piecing together different things to make this document. But when it starts listing Weber County officials in their role, that just needs to, I just think if this is going to be the official document and we're going to rely on it, we need to go on and give it one more pass to make sure the actual information is correct. Because like I said, there are some that are from different cities in here. It also repeats, or not repeats, one moment it says that we are using and Chief, you may know which one we're actually using, whether we're using iPause or if we're using Code Red for our incident or our communication with the public. I know we're doing a reverse 911, but it's not showing anywhere that which one we're actually using. And I think it's only because some of these documents were merged in the creation of it. Because there's very few. I think Bountiful is the only one that still uses iPause, and they pay for it. So if you downloaded it, it tells you have to be a paying member to be able to get that kind of information. Let's see, executive. Yeah, I do.
That take another look, we could get what you generated there.
Yeah,
Bring it back.
and that's when I was going. Yeah, that's when I was going to go through, because I've got the list. I wasn't planning to just hand it over to you right now, but, and like, they're mainly just small ones. They're just little things, but I think that making the information inaccurate, or possibly inaccurate, which in an emergency, we don't want that. Syracuse also has a way of giving a public version of it and a non-public version of it. And they post the public version out online. Might be something we want to look at on it. So, yeah, those are the ones that I've looked at. Other than that, I think it's, good detailed content throughout all of it. It's just seeing those few things makes me a little bit concerned. So, yeah.
Okay.
So I would like.
Joe, would you like to make a motion on that then?
Yeah, I would like to make a motion that, I'd like to make a motion that we table it, but I'll get in trouble. I'd like to make a motion that we postpone it, for however long it takes to get a new one finished.
To continue it?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yes, sure, continue.
Second it.
A motion, and we have a second by Councilman Howardson.
Their timeframe that you. Yeah.
No, that's why he wants to table it so that we have time to work on it and bring it back when it's ready, rather than continue it to a specific meeting.
So you want table and not continue.
No, what you want.
No, it's all.
Continuation does not require a date.
Yeah,
Tabling built it.
Yeah,
You did want continue.
continue. Yeah. Okay. Good with that second then, Blair?
Yeah.
Start with a roll call vote, Councilman Windsor.
Aye.
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 Hey. Last item. Our vacuum trailer purchase. Any discussion on this?
So we did discuss this, just to give you a little bit of background as Municipal Utilities Committee. And currently, on average, it's mid 50,000 a year that we're spending for a vacuum truck. But this does not completely replace that. It was replacing between 30 to 40% of that cost a year. We will still need the larger vacuum trucks to do some of the larger manholes and deeper manholes. So our return on our investment, basically, this would pay for itself in 4 years. So Jeremy and I agreed, the mayor, we agreed that was something we should recommend doing with the council. It'll be purchased out of the, I don't remember if it said in the background or not, out of some of the remaining funds for the Public Works. And it does allow us to do that with the Public Works funds.
I do have one question with regards to the procurement method. It does say state contract, but excuse me, there are different methods on state contract. Was this the only state contract for Vactors, or was there several that we had to choose from? And was this the least cost, or was there other criteria used in selecting this make and model?
This. They looked at state contract, found this one. I don't believe that there was not a cheaper price found on state contract.
Were there multiple vendors on state contract? I guess my root cause, this is the only vendor.
There was only 2 that we knew of at all, and I don't believe any of them were part of that state contract, is the way I understood it.
There were other vendors that provide back trucks. This was the one that was on state contract. The
Okay.
other vendors were not.
Okay, thank you.
Didn't say that right.
My only question is, what's the lead
Here.
time on this? Once we purchase it, how soon before we take ownership?
I think right away.
I believe it's something that they can deliver with, so that we're using it this summer.
Awesome. Thank you.
Michelle.
And this is going to be a capital item that we're going to prepay for or save it up for, or?
It's something we're paying for out of the funds from the, under the bond money.
Okay,
It's left over.
okay.
With the idea that we would use this as long as it lasts.
Yeah, this isn't gonna go on a lease rotation or any rotation program. It's just a piece of equipment we're purchasing.
Good, thank you.
Okay, we'll look for a motion on this.
Mayor, I make the motion to approve the purchase of the vacuum trailer for the Public Works Department for $87,420.11.
Second. That 11 cents.
Yep.
Yes.
Make sure I get it right.
That was second by Councilwoman Petty. We'll do a roll call vote, starting with Councilman Windsor.
Aye.
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 Motion carried. Thank you. That's it for our action items. We'll go into reports, new business. Dave, have you got any new business?
One thing to bring up, we were able to get some information back from Zions Public Finance on the option to approach our current bondholder, US Bank. And they provided an option I sent to the Admin Finance Committee to look at so that they could provide a little bit of perspective. Since they have provided that, even within the last handful of days, market has adjusted and changed with the war in Iraq. Interest rates are moving target right now. So the savings that we have looked at initially are not the same. The level of savings is not as high as what those rates were because they have increased since then. But what US Bank provided was around $400,000 of savings to still maintain callability on those bonds. But they would basically do a modification on our current bond structure. We would not have to go out to market or things like that. And keep the callability, but it would reduce our interest rate some. since that $400,000 number is adjusted, so it's probably a little bit lower. So the question is that enough to want to work with US Bank and do that, or still pursue the option of going out to market to get all that we can get in savings that way?
My recommendation is that we pursue going out to market, but we may want to, as a admin finance committee, if everybody's okay with that, look at the timing of that to see.
Yeah. What I-
Because it really, we were down to one option, plus maybe just seeing if we could renegotiate these, which was an incredible savings. But if those rates are changing, we may want to wait till things settle down a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I would probably kick it back to the admin finance committee. If it were, but I'll let you guys decide what you want to do.
I think so.
I agree.
Let's bump it over there if we would.
We will take it on.
Okay. Anything else, Dave?
Not any business, no.
Anyone have new business from the council?
I just had two. Number one, what are we going to do about the knowledge that we were given today? What's our next step? And I don't know if this would go to one of the committees to look at it. I don't know if this is something that, since the risk is on UDOT land and pouring into a private business, if we're even the ones that would be responsible for these kind of solutions. But I really would like to just know what the next step is on this study that they've done. Even if it just means we're trying to figure out it to another deeper level that we have to do something with it. Any thoughts?
I'll start. I think it's we've known of the risk prior to the study. The study provides information about specific types of projects that can be looked at. Feels like that type of thing that maybe could take on as a dive deeper. The suggestion was to wanted to go farther, get geotechnical involved, but not. As you said, there are many other entities that would need to be involved. This is something we're pushing as a city, and we're concerned like this is happening. It's also the type of project, once we identify, if we were to update our multi-hazard mitigation plan, try to include that type of project in the plan, it could then be eligible for federal aid if it's in that plan initially. But we did that multi-hazard mitigation plan, it was specific to city-owned infrastructure, so that's why I think initially, it's the type of thing we're very interested in mitigating, and yet, like you say, it's not ours, so to speak, but our people are affected. So
Yeah.
we want to keep pushing the conversation. Sure, it's not just like so.
I agree.
What committee would that go to? Safety?
Safety.
Give it to the gravel committee.
Wayne wants it.
Oh, we want that one. Yeah, I was just gonna
think
comment
they'd go
earlier
there.
before you jumped in. I think you guys did an awesome job, giving your background information. The core problem is not the high flows. Core problem is the gravel pit undermining the river, creating the situation that we're now existing. So I think the gravel pit is culpable. I think the gravel pit needs to stand up and take ownership of the problem they've created. I think we need to bring the state in because it's affecting Interstate 84, and it's affecting US 89, and it's affecting our citizens. So we shouldn't have to take the bill to fix this problem. And I agree, typically your recommendations are go with the least cost. We want to put that wall in. You could do other issues with the drainages going around, the piping, different types of bank intakes, but they all have their inherent problems. We need some sort of cutoff wall curtain to go in there, or just fill the pit back up. But I think it's their problem, and we need to put their feet to the fire and make them fix it.
You're saying we could let it flow in there.
I think that's great.
Yeah,
Send it
I,
back to 'em.
I got my box closed, so ready to go.
You guys got Wayne fired up.
Yeah, I was ready to go, but Joe kind of stole my thunder, so thanks, Joe.
Still just a little bit of thunder, but I don't think you want this one. I got two major complaints, and it's something that we'll have to handle in the Parks Committee. I just wanted to let them know that we were announcing it or talking about it. The dog park is having a poo-poo problem. In which there are a number of individuals that bring in multiple dogs and just let them run, and then, well, run's probably not the right word. Then get out back into the car and just drive away. Again, I know we're looking at budget, so this is one of those things that we would look at if we wanted to do a code enforcement type of official, because right now, it's just left to people to have their own integrity. So, but we got 2 of them.
Okay. Anyone have any other new business? Committees, reports?
No.
Any, Bill, committee?
I do. May I use your microphone? Okay, I just wanted to put one more plug in for our Easter egg hunt. That's Saturday, April 4th. So sirens will start at 9 a.m. sharp. And hats off to Shaylee and staff. Do you guys want to guess how many Easter eggs they filled this year?
Oh,
I thought we did a lot when we did 5,000 and then we did 6,500 and she blew us out of the water.
10. 8.
14,000.
Okay.
it's amazing how fast they go.
Yes. So they're doing it for ages 0. Yeah, it is. It's like 35 seconds.
35 seconds and it's over.
Yeah. So ages 0 to 12, just want to make sure the residents of our community are there. If we can come support, that's great. So. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you,
I'll be
ma'am.
there. Thank you. Blair, do you have anything?
No. Thank you.
I have nothing, so with that, I'll look at my report on one thing. You had your time, Dave, now it's me. Go right ahead.
Business, I was waiting for.
Okay, I'll give you 2 minutes.
Okay, 30 seconds. The well-being survey has 1 more week remaining. We have 220 responses. A few years ago, we got to 293. So we would like to get past 293. Shaylee's gonna put some information out tomorrow. It's the final push. But it closes the end of this month, so there's only 7 days left. Next Tuesday. Let's push for 300.
Is it on the website?
It is.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Dave. Look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.